Hi, so my question is about TikTok and security. As far as I can see, nobody's suggesting that TikTok is currently malware, just that it has the potential to be. Meanwhile, our domestic applications are being misused by foreign agents. There's Russian bots on Twitter, they had a security breach, there's conspiracy theorists from other countries posting to Facebook. The Trump campaign, got my Gmail from somewhere and opted me into email that I don't want. With all of these known security concerns, why are we so focused on the potential from TikTok? What am I missing? Thanks.
That's a great question from Christiana. Listen, I'm going to start with this. I've been talking and reporting on a lot of this. There is a difference. People are making the connection between Facebook's abuses or Twitter's or Google's and China. There's a difference between companies in this country and what China's doing. The Chinese government is malevolent in a way that Mark Zuckerberg could only dream of. So I think you can say that Facebook and others attack us, but in this case, even the potential for national security problems is great because Chinese internet hegemony is growing across the globe, and so that there are good reasons to feel nervous. I don't think there's good reasons to feel nervous about TikTok necessarily, and the hill that Trump is trying to fight up is not the correct one. It should be they should be focused on AI, on 5G, on all kinds of things. So I think there's good reason to be concerned, but the focus on this is almost an embarrassment. Scott?
Yeah, I think there's real concern, legitimate concern around TikTok. I don't know if, similar to the way Huawei is being politicized, that the threats are that legitimate. I think it's not a function of whether or not the Chinese government would weaponize them if they could. I just don't know their potential to be weaponized anymore, as you reference, other than more so than the other platforms. I think the bigger threat, quite frankly, of TikTok is the same threat across Facebook, and that is, do we need another addictive platform to send our children down a rat hole of addiction and UI that creates just device addiction? So yeah, it's a fair point. This is so rife with irony, though. It's very hard for the Chinese to, kind of what's good for the goose here. The Chinese let American firms into their markets for long enough to steal their IP, then kick them out. And in this instance, we were letting them in long enough to develop real traction and then forcing them to sell. And all the moons have lined up over like the mother of good fortune for Microsoft, which from an antitrust standpoint is really a Sophie's choice. We either eliminate a competitor for big tech or we let the fifth biggest big tech guy, or the biggest, depending on how you define it, get stronger and stronger. I actually think here, I don't know what you think, I think President Trump comes out of this a winner, other than he has an incredible ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory by asking for a brokerage fee on it. But I think that thrusting this into the hands of an American firm is actually a fairly deft counterpunch.
I don't think so at all. I think it should have gone public. I think it would have been a public company that's a real competitor to Facebook. The way he's inserted himself here has been so cloddish and stupid. And of course, he made a mess of it. It was going pretty well, and I think Steve Mnuchin and others were working on it. And then he had to insert himself very confusingly, and he's done it again with this getting a VIG. It's ridiculous. Microsoft had to write a slavish letter to him, and let me just tell you, they do not think the things they wrote in the letter at Microsoft. And so the whole thing is just a ridiculous kabuki theater for this incredibly, this terrible businessman.
Okay, I agree with most of what you said. American firm is about to end up with the fastest growing social media property and what is kind of an overdue.
It should have been a new American company. That's my feeling. Or we're going to disagree on this one.